There are a couple of ways when you run into kicks, whether or not you do separate kick boxes or leg levelers, how you manage it. Now the first question you're going to have to ask yourself, do you always do separate kick boxes or leg levelers? If you say, I always do it, well, you go to Change, Set Shop Standards, and you want to come here and make sure that you make the height of the base cabinet, whatever the physical height of the base cabinet is, without the kick. For example, we'll go 30.5. And right here on this question, kick's base height on cabinet, if you notice right there, it says 4. We'll go 0. It's line 15. We scroll down in this menu. This is Set Shop Standards. You'll notice kick box height, only for separate kick boxes. Well, if we go 4 inches here, that's the kick box height, and the cabinet off floor would be 4 also. You would want to save that permanently if that's what you do all the time. Now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and put the cabinets up. Now, if I click on base cabinet, and I just single click on base cabinet and drag it up, notice that there's a kick space height here, and the cabinet's only 30.5. And what this allows us to do is come in after the fact and put a separate kick box in, which is in our unit menu right over here. You'll see kick boxes, which allows us to put a kick box in separately right in that space. And once again, I'm just leaving it a little bit in on the left and right. I could have run it all the way to the wall, depending on how big a kick you want. Now, there's another situation that occurs, and I'm just going to go to File, and I'm going to start a new job, and I'm going to start on frame. Now, a lot of times people will want to put up a separate kick box just for a particular situation. For example, let's say you have a pantry going to the ceiling, and you really need a separate kick box in that case. You really can't put it part of the cabinet. So I'm just going to click over here, change my view. I'm going to go to a tall cabinet, right over here. Go to pantry. And as I put this up, I'm going to drag it. Now notice, if I click OK here, I have a kick box on it. And in that case, I probably don't want to have it on that particular cabinet. And maybe the base cabinet's here. I can just go over here, and those I would want to have a kick box on. So, in this case, what I would do is I would double-click on that one unit. I would make the height of it, let's just say 86 inches. I would make the off-floor value right here 4 inches. And I'd click OK. Oops, and I made a mistake by not making the kick height 0, if you notice. So I come over here, double-click, 0, click OK. Now I can put a separate kick box just for that cabinet only. But everything else, it's still built into that cabinet. So when I come over to kick boxes, right down in the questions here, I can do a separate kick box after the fact. And you're going to find that you get to choose when you get to do it. An island would be another situation you might want to do that in, where you go to an island, you might want to put up your cabinets without the kick on it. And we just come in here, you could put multiple cabinets up, and then you could make the height of it whatever you'd like, say 30.5, kick height 0, off floor 4, click OK. Now notice there's no kick on it, but this allows us after the fact to come into the kick box section, put a separate kick box in, and we can make it any width we want and any depth we want. So we could say, let's go 19 inches, and let's say from the wall, let's just go a couple. That way when we go into 3D, we have space all the way around, and it will look the way that you would probably want it to look on a specific island with a kick all the way around the cabinet.